Hey there, Wendy here with Jazzydoodledesigns, and thank you for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I always enjoy seeing you all. We're going to be working on the Jazzydoodledesigns Advent Calendar 2025. Now, I am going to put this intro at the beginning of every single video. So if this is day 9, skip ahead if you wish, because I'm going to go over where to find the sheet and the colors and all of that. Okay, first off, where to find this sheet. I put together this PDF and you can find it on my Ko-fi shop, which will be linked in the description box below. Everything on there is, with the exception of one thing, is enabled free, pay what you want. This just means that if you want to donate to the channel, you can, but you're also welcome to pick this up at no cost to you. I want everyone to be able to play along. I am going to be using Chromaflow Colored pencils. Now, I have chosen a little bit of an unusual color palette for this. By unusual, I mean a little more muted and pastel. I thought it would be fun since last year I went with a very traditional color palette and I used Prismacolors. So I'm going to be using Chromaflow Colored pencils, and these are the colors that I chose. Now, in the event that you don't have Chromaflow, or maybe you don't have all of these, feel free to use whatever colored pencils that you want. I've put a little swatch next to them so that you can get an idea of what pencils might work for this, right? But anyway, I'm not, if I deviate, if I feel like I need another color that isn't listed here, I will flash it up on the screen. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to figure out light, medium, and dark, right? And I will try and mention that. I'll say, pick up your lightest red tone, pick up your lightest blue tone, or whatnot, to try and help you out. Generally speaking, when I do pages like this that have a lot of little images for myself, I generally color all the images and then add in the little pops of white. But for the sake of this type of video, I'm going to go ahead and add in the obvious ones to me. I may go back at the end and add some acrylic marker to really bring out these little ornaments, just because when you color those with colored pencil, it has a tendency to get a little lost. And so I may do that. I may add extra white at the end, or maybe pops of gold or something like that. I just want to let you know that going forward. But I will try and completely finish the image in each video. That way, if you only care about one, it's done. Okay? And because this is a PDF, I will most likely be adding some form of a glitter to this in the form of Wink of Stella and or stickles. Like, I like to put them on fluffy things like the fur of the hats and the little stocking, and you know, who knows, I might add a little dots of gold or something like that. Okay? So use what you have and make it your own. So let's go. Hello again, friends. Today we're going to work on our little wreath. So we are going to need our reds, our greens, and then those gold colors, right? So I think this time I'm going to use the natural brown and the willow and not the spice. So let's go. All right. Grab your darkest green. Let's start with our wreath, shall we? What I'm going to do is right here at the base of each leaf, I'm going to go in and go up kind of that stem, right? Now once again, due to the size of these, the smaller your picture, the more forgiving your image is going to be. Now, one thing as we start out, I want you to think about is how much contrast do you want? Do you want a nice full blendy green, right? Where the entire leaf just kind of blends from dark to light? Or do you want more contrast? And I'm going to show you both so that you can decide which you want. Okay? You may want to sharpen your pencil for this. Now the other option that you have is to color some dark and some light. So you could just vary, like this one would be dark and then this one might be lighter. They don't all have to be the same. It's certainly your choice. There's a lot of variety in nature, right? But for the sake of our coloring books, we get to choose whatever appeals to us. Whether or not it looks like that in real life. Now, I'm going to assume that these are, you know, little leaves. Okay? Maybe even this one. Some of these are a little quirky. Okay? All right, next up we're going to go in with cactus. Now, let's say that we want a nice contrasting leaf. So I'm going to show you that right on this leaf. So we're going to go in with cactus and we're not going to add much. See how much white I left? Now I'm going to go in with my lightest, and I'm actually not even going to take that all the way out, right? And you see how that brightened that up? But what happens if we just go in and add a little bit? We skip the second color and we just add the light. I actually kind of like that. Okay. Now let's do a nice blendy one. Let's make this one blendy. So I got my cactus. I'm going to go out quite a bit. And then with my very lightest, I'm going to go over it all. Now do you see how that all is blended now? So you see the two looks. Now what happens if we go in with our natural brown? Let's see if I can find it. There it is. All right. And let's just go in right here and add a little bit at the bottom of that one. And then go back in with our darkest so it doesn't look brown. Look how much more contrast I have now. Personally, I like this look the best for me, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So I am going to erase as much as I can of that blendy one. Okay, now see how it kind of stained it? That's fine. That's fine. I'm going to go in with my natural brown first, then the darkest green, the field green. Go over that brown, and then with our lightest. Okay, now try not to go all the way to the edge because I'm going to leave a little bit of a white tip. So while I got my brown, natural brown, just going in. Now you could also use like a dark gray might look really good. Let's try that. That natural gray, let's try that one. Let's try darkening this one with the natural gray and see if we like that better. It's going to give it a cooler look. Where's my dark green? See how the difference is? So you might like that one better. I personally like the warmth that you get here from the natural brown. I think I don't know, for me, it's just a personal preference. Do you got the right colored pencil? No. But play around with it and see what you like, okay? Now, I'm going to leave that one there because, like I said, nature has variances, right? It's going to have leaves that are a little lighter than others. It's going to have some that are warmer and cooler. So there's no right or wrong, right? Okay, but I just feel like the brown gives it, I tend to like warmer color palettes. I tend to lean towards like olive greens instead of the blue greens. Which is funny because I absolutely love stuff like turquoise and those kind of blue greens. I like those colors. But if I'm coloring something green, you can almost bet I'm going to be using more of the olivey kind of tones. Okay, back in with our darkest green now. Let me know in the comments, do you like the palette that I've chosen for these images? Do you wish I would have stayed a little more traditional? I just felt like, a lot of Christmas images, we colored an angel and a mug and all that kind of stuff last year. And so I thought, well, it would be nice to switch things up a little. Okay. And then going in with our lightest. Do you guys have your Christmas tree up? I know a lot of people do it right after Thanksgiving. I'm so torn. It's just Lonnie and I, and this time of year, he's a UPS driver. He's gone so much. And my boys, one lives in Seattle and the other has, his own family and they do Christmas at their house. And so we don't even have people here. So it's like, I just put up a little tiny tree and really no other decorations anymore. Okay, this piece right here, it looks like it's missing a leaf. I don't know that it's missing, but there's like a gap. And I just don't want, that gap. So some of these empty spaces, I'm just going to color in with my darkest green. Personal choice. You could do any of the greens, really. I just want my wreath a little fuller. All right, let's do our berries and then we can reassess, because I do see some things that I'll probably touch up. Okay. And we'll see if we want to keep it that light. All right. So grab your blush pink, your redwood, your Turkish delight, and the, what is it, ash rose. All right. So like we did on our berries here, now these could be, oh, maybe we'll do those. Maybe the bigger ones we'll do as ornaments and the little ones as berries. I kind of like that idea. Okay. I'm going to sharpen my pencils. Be right back. Okay, I am back. I just sharpened the very tips of these. These are small berries. So I'm going to try and put like a little darker edge, my little C on the side here. You could do these like in an orange if you wanted. I think it's Christmas though. I want red berries. Okay, and then I think I'm going to use the blush pink. I'm not even going to attempt to leave any white spots. Too small. We'll just have to create them ourselves. So I'm just filling the entire berry with that blush pink. Okay. And then back to our darkest one. What's your favorite holiday tradition? What do you do that is just unique, maybe to your family or not? But I mean, just something you enjoy as a family. As a kid, we used to always go out and see all the lights, and I used to love that. My uncles used to make triple time if they worked on Christmas Day. So we always had Santa at Christmas Eve. We had to write special letters and do all the things. And so we would go out and see the lights on Christmas Eve, and Santa would come. Okay. So this is Dijon. And I'm basically going to do the same thing for these ornaments. Try not to get your color too... I don't want it right on the edge with these. Because these are bigger, I have a little more control. Okay. So I'm just doing like a little C. I kind of go back and forth. And then let's go ahead and we'll start our... So where we have a point, we're going to shade. or drop in a darker color. Desaturate, how it depends on the image. Sometimes you're making it darker and sometimes you're just kind of desaturating it, right? Just muting it a little. That's what that brown does, right? Okay. And then next we're going to go in, I am going to, I think, let's try it. We're going to go in with soft yellow. Nice and light. I like the look when there's a little bit of white on these without Posca, right? So see how I'm just kind of skimming over it and there's naturally some white in there? I like that look a lot. So we're going to go that soft yellow. We're going to just kind of blend out the colors a little bit here. And see how it looks more shiny because there's white? All right, grab your willow. See if I can find mine. Okay, and we're just going to go in ever so lightly in our corners where we have our points. Right? Where it rounds, so right there on the end. Okay. Now, I am going to take white and blend. We're not going to put the Parmesan. I want a little bit more contrast on this one. That way you can kind of compare when you look at your different bows and see what you like. Now, what do you think of our little wreath here? We could blend it out with white. Kind of like that. I think it just adds a little visual interest and keeps this from just looking blobby, right? Because if it's all like similar greens, it's like your eye doesn't have anything to distinguish a leaf, one leaf from the other, right? Okay, I have these Ohuhu glitter markers. I am going to add just little dots ever so often, just kind of spacing them out here towards the middle. Doesn't have to be. Just for a little visual interest. And because I forgot, I'm going to add some stickles, right, to our little guy from yesterday. Because of course the little Santa hat needs some stickles. We're not working in a book. Okay. All right. So that's going to do it for today. I will see you tomorrow. Happy coloring. Thank you for watching another video from Jazzydoodledesigns. If you'd like even more Jazzydoodle and a little more snark, please check out the membership below. If you're looking for a community where you can share your work and chat with other fellow colorists in a safe and welcoming environment, hit the subscribe button to Jazzydoodledesigns and then look for Jazzydoodledesigns Coloring Community on Facebook. And there you can join a group of fellow colorists to talk all things coloring and share cute pet pictures. I hope to see you there. And until next time, happy coloring.